this computer. Excellent. All right, guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Dr. Stephanie Burgos. For those of you who do not know me, and I'm coming to you from Central Florida. So I'm really excited, and shout out to Michelle who went first kind of in the power hours, because I totally watched your power hour earlier today just to get some ideas. Because sometimes I do power hours, but I'm here to tell you guys that I hate to say it, a lot of times I work in power pockets. I'm a busy emergency medicine physician. I have, I'm a coach. I have other endeavors. So this is also just kind of, it's great though. I absolutely, so I want to just thank Michelle since I see her on here. What I think is going to be awesome for those of you, and I'll try to, those on my team who are here know I can talk a lot, so I'm going to really try to keep it short. But I think you're going to see a variety of the way people run the power hours. This is going to be a working power hour. I'm not going to be talking a lot during this power hour. I want you guys to come in. If you already have a format, maybe you're just coming into this just for the accountability of having this structured hour, knowing that other people are on board working. If you already have a power hour, fantastic, follow that. You know what I mean? But if you're someone who's looking for that structure, looking for ideas, that's what we're here for. That's what this is here for, okay? So again, I'm going to run the power hour for 1 hour, and I'm recording this. You guys will be able to watch the recording. And then afterward, I will take any Q&As. So anything that you guys, any questions you may have specifically for me, how I run my business, how you're seeing, I'll share my screen occasionally, maybe not that often, I'll share my screen occasionally to show. And as I'm kind of guiding you guys along the power hour, I'll give a couple tidbits where I feel it needs to be necessary. But again, if you guys have any questions, just put them in the comments, and I will spend as much time as you guys need with you guys this evening to answer as many questions if there are any questions. All right, guys, so what we're going to do, very similar to kind of what I saw Michelle do, which I think is super important. I'm really big into music. I'm really big into movement. And so really, making sure that when you are about to sit down to work, that you put yourself in the best state, that you put yourself in a state that's positive and energetic, because your audience, the people that you're speaking to, they're going to be able to feel that. So if you're having a crappy day, if you're stressed out, if you're coming into this saying, oh my gosh, stressed out about hitting Success Club or hitting points, or you have some negative energy behind you and you're coming down to work, it's going to relate to your customers. It's going to relate to the success that you're going to have in that power hour. So just really keep that in mind. Sometimes you have to dance it off. I dance it off. You have to shake it off. So really just keep that in mind. So making sure that you are staying aligned with that. All right. So what I want to do for exactly kind of 1 minute is I want you guys all to just kind of take a deep breath, and I want you guys to, when the minute started, I want you guys to drop what you're doing, close your eyes, and just take a deep breath, and to set an intention specifically that you want to achieve for this power hour. Do you want to help one person? Do you want to encourage and love on one person? I tell my team all the time that we are light workers. That is what we're doing. We're spreading love and light and positivity and energy to the people that we are connecting with. So take that nice deep breath, just really, a couple deep breaths, and think about what that intention is. All right, great. So for the next 2 minutes, actually, what I want us to do is, someone is, everybody, unmute everybody. Okay. So for the next 2 minutes, what I want us to do actually is I want you to grab a pen and paper, a journal, your journal nearby if you happen to journal. And I want us to, again, because it's about our energy, and I want to make sure that we're going into this, and so taking a tenth of the time, just taking, a minute, 2 minutes, it's not going to hurt us from our work production. But what I want you to do is I want you to write down affirmations for yourself, and write down gratitude. I just want you to go on a gratitude rampage. So go ahead and start now, 2 minutes, Affirmations Gratitude Rampage. And I'm just going to play some background music. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stop there. I know that can be really soothing. So that's 2 minutes. And so now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take 5 minutes to send encouraging messages to people, just because this is incredibly important, guys, in building rapport and also maybe sending, gratitude messages to people, thinking about who you might be grateful for in your life right now, thanking friends, thanking family members, but also just sending words of encouragement to people who might need to hear those words. So go ahead and get started now. 5 minutes. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop that part. Excellent work, everyone. I know you guys sent some words of encouragement. So for the next 5 minutes, what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be adding value into our groups. This is really important because I think sometimes we forget about our challenge groups and and maybe if you're someone who you've been doing that already today, maybe tapping into some community groups that you may be in. That's a way for you to add value, that way for you to connect with people and see and where you can find future leads as well in those community groups. So let's take 5 minutes now to go ahead and add value to your groups. This is also another opportunity if you're planning posts for your groups, you can do that at this time as well. But this is something so you can factor it into your hour. So everyone go ahead and start now. right, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop that. And what we're going to move on to next, now that we have added some value, we're going to add some people to our network. We're going to spend about 5 minutes adding people to our network. For me, I do this a lot on Instagram. I get a lot of my main business coming and my main customers coming from Instagram. So I go to people other accounts that are similar to mine, possibly in other niches, and I will look at the people who are following them, because I just kind of assume that if they're following them, they would follow me if we're in the same niche. Obviously, so different ways, so that's one way. Looking at friends that you may know on Facebook, mutual friends, those are ways for you to connect and find new people. So let's right now, starting now for 5 minutes, go ahead and let's add some people to our network. right, we're gonna go ahead and stop that. And I feel like I'm like a radio station. All right, guys. And all right, guys, so what we're gonna move on to next is we're going to spend 8 minutes planning post for your social media. Ideally, you should, it should be like 3 posts, but maybe it takes you all 8 minutes to do 1 post. It's no big deal, but we're gonna put it into our power hour, 8 minutes of writing a post. Maybe you may not be inspired right now. So guess what? Maybe you can use this time to edit photos, just kind of thinking of photos that you may want to use. This is what I do. I have photos already that I've edited when I'm ready to use them, or I sometimes will work ahead of time on my posts again because of my busy schedule. So 8 minutes, go ahead and let's get started now. We're working on our post for our social media. right, so right now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to take a 3-minute dance break because we're about to switch gears and we are about to go, and I want your energy pumped up and I want you guys excited to go out and talk to people and invite people and follow up with them. So everyone put your phones down. If you need to go to the potty, now's the time to go to the bathroom. Really quick, really important to at least get up and move a little bit, stretch your legs, and let's get up and dance. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. I see you, Chelsea. This is what you came for. Strikes every time she moves. Wake up, fast with the game you play. Who knows why it's gotta be this way? We say nothing more than we need. I say your place with me. This is what you came for. Strikes every time she moves. Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. All right, so that was fun, right? I'm really into music, guys. If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, I was actually on the dance crew on stage at the last event, front and center. It was amazing. So I love music. It does amazing. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna be switching gears now. So for the next 8 minutes, we're going to be inviting to our next challenge group. And so what I mean by inviting, and this is going to be different than follow-ups, okay? So when I'm saying inviting, it's that initial conversation that you have with people. So for example, very similar to probably Michelle, like for me, what we do and what I teach my team is any of our call to action posts where we're sharing about our fitness journey, we're sharing about the coaching opportunity, we're sharing anything about the business. Anyone who likes or comments or, on those photos, we'll send messages to them, thanking them. And so what I tell my team is to send messages saying, hey, thank you, especially if it's someone, for example, who liked a fitness call to action. Let's say you put a post out for a challenge group. So I would say, hey, thank you so much for showing love on my challenge group post about, or thank you so much for showing love on my fitness post, I wasn't sure if you were just showing support or if you were actually interested in more information. And I didn't want to assume, so I just thought I would ask. And it's actually a great way, because even if they say, actually, I would say probably about 70% of people, like 65, 70% are just showing support. And that's awesome, because then I follow that up by saying, awesome, thank you so much. Is there anything else I can share about on my social media that would serve you? And so I'm still opening up the report. I'm still, engaging with them. So that's what I teach my team to do. That's what we do. And so any of your posts, guys, related to anything, just reaching out to the people, inviting them just opening up that initial first invite, that first step. All right, so what, 8 minutes, go ahead, and we're getting started. Music. And I'm coming, DJ's coming with the music. All right, that was 8 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and switch gears, and we're actually now gonna spend the next 8 minutes inviting to the coaching opportunity. So guys, and when it comes to the coaching opportunity, same idea. So there's two things. Same idea with what I do with any fitness post. Same thing if I ever post anything on my social media about coaching, about the team, if it's a direct call to action where I'm asking for mentees, I do the same thing to the people who like and comment. I will send them a message. Hey girl, how are you? Thank you so much for showing love on my post about the coaching opportunity. I wasn't sure if you were just showing support or wanted to learn some more information. So I just wanted to ask without assuming. Or I didn't want to assume, so I thought I would ask. So that's a nice line for you guys to use. You know what I mean? Another thing is to look at your challengers. Look at your challengers who are consistent, who are showing up all the time. And go ahead and start your power hour for 8 minutes. But looking at your challengers who are consistent, and sometimes just being very direct with them and just saying, hey girl, how are you? You are absolutely rocking it in the challenge group. Have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? I would love to have you and your energy on our team, in our community. So, and a lot of times people don't think that they could do it, or they've never even really thought of it. So you're planting the seed at the very least, right? And another thing I will say is just absolutely, like, sometimes I'll message girls who I know would be great or they have great energy, and I'll just say, hey girl, what do I have to do to get you on my team? Like, that's what I say, very confidently. And they're just like, oh, and then they will answer you, very, it'll either be a positive or, something where I never thought about it, or send me some more information, or you really think. But anyway, so those are some ideas, some tips that I do. And when it comes to, but I look at my challengers, and then I do speak about the coaching opportunity throughout my posts. And that's where I will poll. Also doing polls on Instagram stories and utilizing that to gain interest as well. And then following up with those people. So those are my tips. We have about 7.5 minutes left. All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch. And now what we're gonna move on to is 8 minutes of follow-up. All right, guys, so we're gonna do 8 minutes of follow-up starting now. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. And guys, I'm actually gonna, so this is where, this is where you're following up on people who maybe you're building rapport, maybe you sent people links and you are following up with them. Some things that I one thing I was actually talking to my fiance, and one thing he had said was to understand that sometimes when we're following up and we're building rapport, it's not just to just follow up on workouts and nutrition. Realize that people want to know that you care about them. And so it's really understanding that follow-ups also are about where are they in their journey right now? Where are they in their life right now? How are they doing? And so a lot of times that's part of my follow-up. And sometimes when you're hearing silence, it could be, maybe they didn't see the message. Maybe it was when they were putting their kids in the car. Maybe they're having some sort of hardship and they don't want to tell you. They're going through a hurdle and they don't want to tell you. So just really keep that in mind, that silence doesn't necessarily mean that they want you to stop. I follow up like crazy. And so some messages that I send are kind of like, hey girl, how are you? I wanted to follow up and see if you had a chance to review the information I sent you. Hey hun, wanted to see if you had a chance to see the link I sent. It sometimes goes to spam, so just let me know if you got it. And then some of my follow-ups just to build rapport, or sometimes I'm following up with people 4, 5, 6 times without anyone ever responding back to me. So sometimes I'm saying, hey, hope you haven't forgotten about me. How have you been? Hope you're seeing the messages and emails. I think Michelle has a similar message. I think I saw her. Hope all is well. I haven't heard from you in a while. You didn't forget about me, did you? And I like to kind of ask that, hope you're having a great week. How are you? Another message I have is, how are you? How is your summer going? We hope you're working hard on yourself and seeing positive changes. Be well. So again, we're just trying to stay on their radar, right? Because again, it's never when we want them to buy, it's when they are ready. And so sometimes, so just staying on their radar and keeping that consistency. And sometimes, guys, when I don't hear from people, I send emojis. You'd be surprised. I send like waving emojis, like hello, and people respond back to that after I send them messages 3, 4 times and then I send them a waving emoji and they respond back with a waving emoji. It's incredible to see how people respond back. But those are just some ideas. I'll put them here in the little chat box and I'll put them in the event page, my messages. But some ideas for you as you guys are thinking about your follow-ups. But follow-up is where the fortune is. And so that's where I would say 80% of my sales every month come from specifically follow-ups. So, make sure that you're following up. It's a big, big, big part of what we do. All right. right, guys, we're in the final stretch, last 5 minutes, and what we're going to do is do recognition. So last 5 minutes are going to be on recognition, recognizing your team members, recognizing your clients. So go ahead and get started right now to try to keep this. But yes, so absolutely recognition is one of the vital behaviors. So let's go ahead and finish out. You guys are doing awesome. We're in the home stretch, and I will put some more music on. Do, do, do. right, that's it. That was 1 hour of productivity. I hope that you guys could see that there is a lot that you can do in that hour. A couple people were asking me about the playlist. It is instrumental music on I use Spotify. So I just looked up pop music instrumental, Disney instrumental. It's actually quite hard to try to find upbeat-ish music that I think you guys would know. But there's lots of lists. So I just popped in instrumental. I'm sure on Pandora is the same way, but I use Spotify, and I'm sure Apple Music also has instrumental. So it's instrumental pop. So, all right, I just want to answer a couple questions here. So in terms of recognition, someone asked about recognition. It can be as small as, let's say you have a coach in your downline. For those of you, how many of you have coaches in your downline? Like you have coaches that you have sponsored. Okay. So maybe you recognize that your coach is being more consistent. They're putting themselves out there more. They wrote a really amazing post. So recognizing them in the team page to support, what they're doing. Recognize what you want to see more of. Right? And so if they're putting themselves out there, same thing with your challengers. If your challengers maybe they showed up 2 days in a row, maybe you send them a quick message recognizing them publicly in the challenge group saying, I just want to give a shout out to Courtney because she's just been doing so awesome. I know she has a ton on her plate, but I love your consistency. You are rocking it, girlfriend. So it's really just recognizing people's efforts. Recognition is also on Thursdays when you have rank advancements in your team, when you have people going up the leadership ladder. Those are, I think, more obvious recognition, but the smaller ones do count as well. So that's what we mean. Those are some ideas, at least, for recognition. Could someone tell me how to send a discount coach link? Yes, it's just a coach. Is it just a coach link? Then they can add, yes, it's just a coach link. There's no specific discount coach link. All right. Any other questions for me or about anything? Now this is open Q&A. Those of you who are ready you guys can go home I'll be posting this recording. So I'll post it in the event page and then I'll share it into the units. I believe that's where you guys can find all of the power hours for this is in the units, in the group. So make sure to look for that. But any questions at all? Nada. Oh, Courtney has a question. Go ahead, Courtney.
So I just recently, I'm really, really pushing to build my team. That's always been a goal, but I'm super, super pushing. And so I was just wondering how it all works, because when you hear the National Wake Up Call, you always hear them say, they went Star Diamond in their second business account. Is that because once you've hit a certain amount, you can't build to that team anymore? Or like why do they have 2 business accounts, I guess?
Great question. That's a great question. So what happens is that when you actually get to 2-star diamond, which is really awesome. And to get to 2-star, the way we have emerald, you need 1 coach on your left, 1 coach on your right. To get to 2-star, you need 1 diamond on your left and 1 diamond on your right. And so when you get to that level, you are able to open up a second business center. And so that's what ends up happening. A lot of people will open up that second business center, and that's it's like a duplication of you. So you can open up Courtney number 2. And what's awesome is that you can place Courtney number 2 on either one of your legs. And a lot of people will actually place them under their spouse's account to help with volume. So for you, Courtney, it would be if you opened up Courtney number 2, you could put Courtney number 2 on Jordan's weak leg. And then as you are funneling in, as you're selling challenge packs, you would sell your challenge packs under that second CBC. So you would now be not only you getting that volume, but now Jordan is going to get that volume. So he's going to be able to cycle there. And then your first CBC will also see some of that volume. So it's really awesome. It's a lot of the 2-star is really where it's a strong foundation. You've built a strong team when you're able to hit 2-star diamond. So that's what you hear. So when you hear 15-star diamond in their second CBC, that means in their second CBC, they built 15 diamonds just under that 1 CBC. And so that's what it means.
So it's not the same thing like as a spouse account or anything like that. it's completely different?
It's different. It's different
Okay.
because it's different. It's different
Okay.
spouse account. And then people can still, so you can get to 15-star diamond in your first CVC, or you can get to 10-star diamond in your first CVC, and then you can still build, in your second CVC, you can get to 10-star diamond. And so that's how, so people, for example, like coaches who have 15-star diamond in their first, they're getting that bonus in their first CVC. And then if they have it in their second CVC, they're also getting it there as well. So it's like, it's incredible. It's like double bonus. So just kind of keeping that in mind.
And one more question, sorry to hog.
No.
So I wanted to sign up my mother and as well, and create volume on her account. But how does that all work? Like as far as like what I would be paying her coach business fee, or like would it be under her name, but I'd be I don't know how that works, I guess.
So Beachbody has a rule where you're not, where you're not supposed to pay for other people's accounts. You can do,
okay.
you can do U+2, but usually that +2 is a spouse, someone who lives in your home. And so you have to be very careful with that. So what I would suggest is, maybe if she's able, I don't know if she's able to purchase it, and you can maybe pay her, if you want to pay for it, and you can maybe pay her back for, pay her for it, but you can't have two accounts on the same credit card, because you can get.
And that's what I figured. I wanted to just clarify. Okay.
Yeah. So what I would suggest is maybe having her purchase it, and then you can always refund her, you can always send it to her bank account, and let her know that you'll be funneling it to her bank account if you wanted to do that.
Thank you.
Yep. It can be oh, here it goes. Michelle says it could be a parent, spouse, or child. Is that U+2? Okay, let's see. Let me look at these questions here. That was awesome. Okay. I am trying so hard to make Emerald with no husband or extra money to create an extra account, so I have to organically get to Emerald. Yes. So no, it is more difficult when you're not able to, when you don't have that kind of the spouse, or like for me, I used my fiance and my mother. So they were the two that I used the first week that I signed up to become Emerald, that first week that I signed up. So yes, when you're trying, and it took me being consistent, guys, on my social media. This was back in 2013. I've been a coach for 5 years now, but it took me 6 months of posting consistently to find my first real coach. So take that for what it's worth, of showing up every day, never missing a day on social media, being consistent, talking about what I do in my group, talking about what I do as a coach. So yes, it is it can take more to grow that Emerald more organically when you're telling me that you don't have that spouse, or you don't have the parents. I'm working hours a day on top of my day job and trying so hard not to burn out. I am inviting, adding, doing stories, posting. I'm seriously doing it all and not moving. Help. Let's see. I guess it all depends. So I'm inviting, adding, doing stories. Misty, how long have you been a coach for? I'm not sure how long you've been where are you? I can't see that. Oh, there you go. Hey, sweetheart. How long have you been a coach for? Oh, I can't hear you. Congratulations, Betty, on getting to Emerald. Consistency, taking her 2 years. That's awesome. Everyone's journey is different, guys. It's recognizing that everyone's journey is different. It might be one of your audio, Misty. And when it comes to building, guys, when it comes to building, maybe reach out to your sponsor and let them help you with some of those conversations. Yeah, I agree with Michelle too. I would want to see, like, if I were I would want to see some of your conversations. And so maybe reaching out to your sponsor and just seeing if she could see how you're talking to people. Because if you're saying you're not getting anywhere, I will usually tell my coaches, send me some conversations, and then I'll see. And I'll be able to give really constructive feedback. And then having someone maybe review your social media, it would be really difficult to kind of give that immediate feedback. But what I would do is couple with your call. Is your sponsor active? Because I know the two above me are not active. So I'm asking, whoever is like the next person above you that you can reach into, that's who I would tell you to reach out to and see if they can provide you some feedback. Because it may be that you're doing everything right, and it may just be that you're in a planting phase, guys. You know, like we're always either in a planting phase or a harvesting phase. That's what I believe, you know, and that's business. And so a lot of times you're planting seeds, you're being consistent, especially if you're in your beginning months. Okay, so I signed up soon and have worked super hard for a few months. My upline is Christine, and she's super, super busy but helpful. Yeah. So what I would say is if you're doing everything right, again, this is me without being able to look at your profile, look at your post. It could just be that your audience is learning to trust you. They're waiting to see the value. I don't know if are you sharing before and afters from other people on your team? I would definitely encourage you to do that. If you're not, definitely do that, because I feel like that's an area where a lot of coaches fail, especially new coaches, because they're a little nervous around that. But taking before and afters from your team, because your audience may need to see other examples. And so utilizing your team success stories and I know for me on my page, anytime I post a photo in the team page, the team is able to use it. And I'm sure Christine Dwyer has a resource where she has team photos, but utilizing that, because people want to see people who look like them. So you may not look like the people who are following you. And so if you show like a picture of me or a picture of Michelle, a picture of Courtney, all different variety, then they're going to be like, wow, this works. I can see the value. I need to reach out to this girl because I want to be a part of that group. So try that. I try before and afters, because honestly, I use that works a lot, and that helps a lot. Suri. Okay, so yeah. So I would post them on both Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, you know, remember with Instagram stories, you could post every 24 hours on Instagram stories, you know, before and afters, because it goes out in 24 hours. So you want to keep that consistent in the face of your audience. But I would probably say maybe once or twice a week on Instagram, and then once a week maybe on Facebook, because Facebook and Instagram are a little bit different. But I post on both. And the way that I do it is I post the same post on my Instagram and on my Facebook personal page and on my Facebook business page. I do not make different posts for the different outlets. I post the same content on all of them because I have different people following me on all of them. And you guys know that every single time we post, a very small percentage actually sees what we post. So that consistency is really important. Don't be afraid to utilize the Instagram stories and posting that frequently, every 24 hours, every 36 hours, throwing up those before and afters, and utilizing the polls, guys. Instagram stories and the polls are where a lot of people are seeing a lot of engagement. So you may throw up that before and after. Maybe, for example, Misty, on your Instagram, do you use Instagram, Misty? Or yeah, so on your Instagram stories, throwing up 2 to 4 before and afters, and just kind of having little comments like, oh my God, this mama looks amazing, or oh my God, and throwing up those 4. And then on the 5th photo or on the 4th photo, be like, you know, are you interested in learning more information? I'm looking for 3 more women to help. And then utilizing the poll option and saying, you know, message, do you want more information on my next group? And then doing the hell yeah, oh my God, yes. Always use a positive and a positive. Please don't use yes and no. Use like, oh my God, yes, or I need this right now. That's what I do for my poll options. So utilizing it on Instagram stories. And then Instagram is just like once or twice a week is what I would do. I've completed all the trainings and put them, I guess you're saying put them in action. I would like feedback, good or bad. Where do we do the before after? Where do we do before after, stories or page? Okay. Oh yeah, I just answered. I just answered that. Sorry. Any other questions, guys? Nothing. You guys are rocking it. Where do you suggest posting those? Yeah, on IG. Oh yeah, I already answered that one. Okay, awesome. And you know what I did want to say something. It's because someone commented here about their coaches being deactivated. I once heard from a coach, and it was really impactful, that there's ebbs and flows in this business, especially as you move along. And sometimes the coaches that get you to a certain rank per se are not going to be the coaches that get you to the following rank. So really keep that in mind, guys. I don't know how long Michelle's been a coach, but I'm sure she's been probably just as long as I have, 5+ years. And the coaches that are around today are not the coaches a lot of them are not the coaches that I started with. And that's just the nature of this business. And that's one of the hardest things about this business, I will admit, is when people kind of leave and people deactivate or people kind of give up. But it's the nature of it. And so just really keeping that in mind and really working. And my best piece of advice to you as someone who lost half her team, I lost half my team, and I went into a full rebuilding, phase. So it happens. And so it's going to happen. It's the ebbs and flows of business. Business is never up, 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 up. There's going to be ups and downs. But the best piece of advice I can tell you is to look at the coaches around you, look at the coaches in your downline, and really reach into the people who are working the business and link arms with them. I think that is what saved my team and really caused a revival in my team. When at the end of last year, I linked down and I said, okay, who in this downline is working? And let me get to know them. Let me offer one-on-one calls. Let me build a relationship with them. And that has led to a revival and really focusing on community, guys, because people are not numbers, and I always used to think what keeps people working for non-for-profits, right? It's mission, it's the community, and it's the same thing in this type of business. It's really focusing on community, focusing on getting to know people and treating them as people and not numbers and again, this is someone who I've been in this business for 5 years, and I've not that, just keeping that in mind, those types of things in mind, that there's going to be ups and downs, people are going to leave, but remembering why you did this, remembering why you got started, remembering that it's about helping people get healthy. And it's about being a light to other people and being a positive energy for other people. So, protecting your energy and protecting your heart and your mind around that so that you can continue to move forward in this business and stay consistent and do the hard daily work that it takes. So let's see, 8 years, girl, that's amazing. None of my original coaches are here, but love, love, love. Yeah, absolutely. What do you do if someone won't even try the shakes or workouts? So it all depends. So if they won't even try, it all depends. I try to meet my customers where they are. So if they're not interested, maybe they might be interested in the bars. Maybe right now we just don't have anything that they're interested in right now. And so I will, just kind of put them on my follow-up list for maybe 3 months from now and just kind of touch base with them again, just staying in their radar, because they may not just see the value in what I have to offer, or maybe they really just don't, they have a system in place that works for them, and I'm here to root them on and just continue to support them. So again, I'm not here to convince someone to buy. We're here to share. We're here to share what we have, and if the person's ready to buy, then they will buy. This makes me feel better. That is where I suck. Not that I don't have the desire. I so desire it, but I struggle casting that vision. I have always been very self-motivated and self-driven, but I need to be better at linking arms with my team. 9.5 years here. Yes, absolutely. Where are you so that I can see you? I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Absolutely. So you've been a coach for 9.5 years? Wow, that's incredible. Yes. So I will tell you so like for me, I spent all of last year. It was rough. Like it was where I was just like doing the vitals, but my heart wasn't in it. Like, I will be honest, my heart wasn't in it, guys. And this is like just brutal honesty, just because I was hurt by how many people had left. I was hurt by just pouring into people and them just kind of giving up on, just giving up on their dreams, because when you are a leader, I read somewhere that when you're a leader, you are holding the vision for people. They're holding that vision for them before they even see it. And so when we're getting new coaches and we're mentoring people, that's what we're doing. We're putting that energy. So it is hard. And I will tell you, is it Rosie or Ross? Rosie? It's Rosie. So I will tell you, the best thing I did was just look in the downline and just look at who's working, who is actually, because that's where the energy is. That's where the excitement is. And when you link arms with them and you reach down, and you mentor them and you get to know them and you become friends with them, it's going to revive you, because now you're going to be around people who want to build. You're going to be around people who are excited about the business. And it's not going to matter, because at the end of the day, if they're building, you're going to, the whole team is going to benefit. And so that was a revival for my team. And then stepping away from chasing the higher ranks for me, that was something, and just really focusing on serving my team and building that community and helping them. When I have new coaches who come on, I tell them, I want you to have a transformation. I want you, I have no expectations of you from me. I have no expectations of you to sell. I just want you to have fun. I want you to have a transformation, and I want you to enjoy our community. When you lead with that from the top, people will stay. Okay. When you lead with that type of, that type of energy, and you set those expectations that it's about community, and it's not about sales to me anymore, but it's about community. It's about you having a transformation, you having fun, because then they'll stay, and then maybe their interest will stay piqued. And then maybe later on, when they're more ready, they'll grow and they'll be able to build. And so that's been so many, let's see. So many think they're working and give up before they actually do. That frustrates me, but I keep on keeping on. I love that setup. Yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard, but that's where we have to, there's only so much we can do, and we can't force people to build. And, we know, and that's why it's like, you just have to look at the actions of people and really make sure that they are, people that you're giving your time to, there's some action that they're pursuing. And so that you're not just kind of aimlessly giving your time away to people. Let's see. That was so helpful. Love the way you went through this power hour and explained the ebbs and flow of this business. Thank you. You're very welcome. Well, they ordered them, but wouldn't actually try. Oh, girl, Siri. Okay, yeah. So that happens a lot. People order challenge packs and they order the programs and they don't do anything with the program. That happens a lot, and there's nothing you can do about that. I wouldn't feel bad. If you have a challenge group going and you are doing your best to stay accountable, I tell my people, I'm like, look, I am in the trenches with you. I help you stay accountable. I lead by example. That's my coaching. And so it's up to them, and again, like I said, it may not be the right time for them. So just staying connected, even more just to stay connected. Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing with your goals? Wanted to check in and see if you had a chance to, look at the Beachbody On Demand, to try the Shakeology yet. So just staying in their radar. There was a part of them, but maybe life is getting busy and they're just not, they just haven't had a chance to do it. So I wouldn't feel like a failure by any sense. I would just say it's just not their time yet, but they've taken some step, but they haven't completed yet. So I think the Pareto rule illustrated in developing the leader within you 2.0 is perfect. Yes. Change everything for me. Pour love into your team, but build the ones ready to build. Yeah, exactly. The Pareto rule is really awesome. That's where, what's the rule? It's the rule that 20% of the top 20% produces 80% of the results. So focusing your time and efforts on that top 20%. And they say the bottom 20% will want 80% of your time. So keeping that in mind too. How many times are you checking in with your challengers and coaches? Mine are all discount coaches right now. Awesome. That's a great question. So when I have, it all depends. So challengers, so what I do is when a challenger gets started, this is my process. I follow up with them weekly for the first month. So, the first 4 weeks, then I do then I do 2 weeks, and then I do monthly after that. And so it's just a monthly follow-up. And then for my coaches, similar, but if they are a builder coach, like if they're actively building, then I will meet with them actually every week. I'll offer them, obviously I offer them a weekly 20 to 30 minute powwow for the first few weeks. But again, if I see that they're building, they're trying. And then what I have found actually that's been really helpful, because usually they need about 3-4 touch points before they start feeling a little bit more comfortable and they don't have as many questions for me. And then we spread them out every 2-3 weeks. And then we spread them out monthly. And then I'll have them decide. But I will say at least monthly, I'm touching base with challengers and with coaches on my team. I use Teamsy for my follow-up, guys. That's what I use. I used to use Streak. I tried everything in the book. That has been what has helped me to stay on track. For a long time, I used Streak though, before I used Teamsy. I started using Teamsy like a year ago, and I have found that helpful. That is an investment, but again, if you have a system, that's great. Stay with that. But it's really important to have a system. Oh my gosh, this is such a perfect topic for me. Today I've been pushing and building such a strong vision of my business and groups, and had 4 people in a row tell me today they were quitting, canceling, and I was feeling so hurt. But it's so helpful to hear that I'm not alone, and that it is not about me convincing others, but leading those that want to come along. Absolutely. Yeah, man, it's rough out there sometimes. Like when you it's rough. I can't. I wish I could protect builder coaches from feeling that disappointment, and because but it's a part of the growth. I look at it, it's a part of the business. It helps to develop you, because not everyone is going to stay true, and not everyone is going to stick around. And so again, it's not a reflection of you. I think we naturally oh my God, I'm a horrible leader. I'm not doing this right. What is every other coach doing? How are they doing their training? What's the secret sauce? What's the training over there? And it's all the same. And honestly, guys, for the motivated individual, they'll figure it out. They don't need any of all this stuff. For the motivated individual, the motivated coach who wants to build a business, they're going to figure it out. They're going to make sense of it all. And so just really keep that in mind. But just find the ones that want to build, link arms with them. That's really, really, really the best piece. And even forming pods with them in your downline, that energy, maintaining that energy so that you can stay excited, is really important. How do we sign up family members if money is tight? Can we sign them up as a $40 coach without the challenge pack and then pay the monthly fee? What options do we have? Yeah, so you can sign up. They can sign up for just the $40 for the coach, and then they can they can do like the bars. I think they just need 50 PV to stay active. So you can, however they reach that. So there's the bars, there's they can buy 2 Shakeology boosts. So it ends Recover. Yep, you can buy Recover. So it ends up being probably about a $55, $60 investment that they would at least need to purchase in order to stay active at the bare minimum. So those would be the different options that you would have. They don't have to buy Shakeology, but they at least need to buy something that equals 50 PV. So that's what I would say. These are all great. Great, great, great. Anything else? Awesome. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys are all doing so well. And thank you so much for your time and your energy. And coach cancellations happen to coaches at every level, even the top coaches. That is why inviting consistently is so important to give yourself. Absolutely. That's why we always have to be inviting and adding, because it's just the nature of the business, guys. It really, really is the nature of the business. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, guys, have an amazing, amazing evening, and good night.